Ahoy friends! Welcome to building the Alpha Dory. I'm Dan, and this is a project to build a Chamberlain racing dory, straight out John Gardner's The Dory book. Illustrations by Sam Manning. Today we'll be out in the shop, and we're going to build the cuddy. So let's get to it. Okay, so I happen to be out here just working away on the cuddy, and I figured I probably better start the camera. So here's what I've got with the to use the bevel square to take the angle off the flat of the transom, and also the angle of the transom. So I've got this piece that's going to go in here. Now I've actually ended up being able to use this straight edge, long straight edge, to figure out what sort of a run I'm going to get to the flat of the cuddy. I want to, if possible, keep the cuddy level flat to parallel to the seat risers here. Not a huge deal, like you could slope the cuddy aft if you wanted to. I'm just going to try and keep it level, like a little miniature deck, little stern deck, sort of a poop deck of sorts. So the next thing is to take this cleat that I've just made up and cut it off at the level that I want the planking to set at. So I've got the transom bevel here, and I've got the angle that I want the planks to go at. So we'll take this over to the bandsaw and just cut a bevel on it. We'll throw that in the vise. Clean up the angle there. So that'll give us a good surface to screw to. Alright, so I'll throw a little glue on the back side of the cleat we just cut. And then we'll throw a little filled glue, which is simply Type Bond 3 plus some wood flour. Just toss it right on there. Keep the glue pot from running away from me. Yeah, quick as can be. This is a working man's Dory, so we don't want to gild the lily here, but yeah, good enough. And then we'll just give this a good push. We know about where we want to be as far as height, so we're going to be just about at that point there. And then whatever we do, we want to make sure we're level. Make sure we're level. So. And we've already got lines that are, so we got 1 and 5/8 there, 1 and 6/8 there, so we got to come down a little bit further here. There we go, 1 and 6/8. Make sure we're still tight to the wood. All right. So in gluing this on here, we're making sure that water doesn't get behind there between the cleat and the transom, and pool behind there or whatever. We'll put in a couple nails while we got it here. This is oak, so it's I'm drilling the holes larger than I would in pine. Make sure these nails go in, fingers crossed, without getting bent over. There we go. Looks good. And one more check for square. So next is to figure out the shape of the front end of the cuddy. Okay, so next thing we'll end up doing is taking the bevels for this the cleat that the cuddy is going to be fastened to. Alright, so there's one. Now we'll get the length there. Seven and a quarter on the bottom. All right, and then there's not a lot of a bevel here as far as the cut. So yeah, we can probably cut that pretty close to vertical. Okay. Yeah, so that's good. Now we've got some paneling, some planking. I think there's enough wood here to do the front face. So let's see if we can get the front face out of this piece of wood, lay it out on there. Okay, so we know that the front face of this cuddy is probably going to be 3 boards. So I'll take the angle between the floor, or what is going to be the cleat, because the cleat is parallel to the floor, and the side. And I'm just taking that off the garboard plank because the other planks are splayed out as much or less. And then what I'll do is I'll transfer that angle. So this side is going to be, the side of the board is going to be what's up against the side of the boat, let's say. So then I'll take the angle between the garboard and the and the side of the boat and draw this here. So this will be what's up against the cleat. Now the cleat is yay wide. Alright, so that's good. We'll be able to, and we're gonna divide this cleat into 3. Oh gosh, it's 7 inches. So let's see. We're gonna have 3 planks coming down to it. So we'll have this edge plank 2.5 inches of the cleat. All right. We'll have the other edge plank 2.5 inches of the cleat, and then the center plank will be exactly 2 inches wide. All right, so 2.5 inches. Make sure I got that because this is an important measurement. Yeah. Okay, good. All right, so there's 2.5 inches on the cleat. All right, so now I'll put this put this thing over here. So now I've got this straight edge here. That's this straight edge is representing the bottom edge of the cuddy planking. So what I'll do is I'll measure up from the chine to the bottom edge of that, because that's how far up the so we got about 21 inches there up to the underside of the planking, and we're going to make this, we'll assemble this, the front face of the cuddy, we'll assemble it an inch or 2 large, just leave the ends rough or whatever, then we'll cut everything across in one cut once we've got everything nailed together. Alright, so 21 inches. So that means that we'll measure up 21 inches from the, like I said, here's where the cleat goes, right here. We'll measure up 21 inches from the bottom of the boat, from the chine, which is where we were just measuring. And so if we get rid of some old marks on there, just so we can see what's going on. So if we cut to that mark, then we'll have a board that's what we want. And since this is going to be straight across the cuddy, and we know that 21 inches is enough, we'll just give ourselves a tiny bit extra. Alright, so now we can strike a line on there with a straight edge from the 2-inch wide to to the edge of the Alright, so we can cut this out, and this will be our first panel. Now this will get rounded up, you know, where the side of the dory comes in. So once we cut this out, we can fit it, and then we can basically just mirror image this on the other side. And we'll have most of the cuddy, except you'll see there'll be a little wedge-shaped piece that'll fill in to finish off the rest of the front face. So let me cut that, and we'll see how it fits. Alright, so it's plenty tall, so it's going to fit in there, and we'll have a little bit to cut off. And so now what I'll do is I'll set the bottom of the piece flush to the cleat and flush to the floor, which is how it's going to be nailed into the boat. I can actually do this on this side as well, because it's the same piece. I'll just bring it in till it touches the edge. Make sure it's still flush. So you can see I'm touching over here. So now I can get a block that's about the width of the maximum standoff. And a little bit thicker block, yeah. And hold this in place. And use the block to trace the shape. Onto the board. And I'm just joggling around the lap streaks here. You can see where the laps are showing up. And then I'll put a tick mark exactly where the lap comes, so I can saw back up and in at that point. I'm using the block to determine exactly where the lap will strike on each. Alright, so we'll draw in the laps, which are going to come back up like this, more or less. And this isn't an airtight or even a watertight cuddy. This is you know, it's basically a little storage area, and we actually want good ventilation in there so that it'll dry out. So now I'll cut out what I've got here, traced onto the panel. Okay, so yeah, we've got both of these cut out now, and you can see when this panel goes in here along with the cleats, it's forms a nice little front to the cuddy. So we're well on our way. We've got to get the center section cut out, and then we'll deck it over, and I'll have to wait till next episode. Alright, so next thing I'll do is I've got my little circle stick here, and I'll just go ahead and draw a swinging arc through that, through one of the offcuts that's left over, which lets me find what we like to call a center line. And yeah, then I can so 3 inches. 3 inches. Alright, so there's the center of this wedge off cut. So I'll be able to, I can split this in half, and then I'll just get a center piece that is the width of the gap there to fill that in, and that'll take care of the slats for the vertical part of the cuddy. All right, so we'll do that and finish up and start decking the cuddy next video. Thanks for stopping by Building the Alpha Dory. A massive thank you to everyone who's liked, subscribed, and supported the channel. Yeah, this is that's why we make these videos, and it wouldn't be possible without your support. I look forward to seeing everybody in the comments section, and we'll look for you out on the water. Bye.